Hey, what's up, everybody? Amna Nawaz live here in New York. We're helping you stay on track with your New Year's resolutions, and if one of them was to find love, you are in the right place. No one knows love better than this woman right here, Siggy Flicker. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This is gonna be fun.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
So look, you guys of course know her as a Real Housewife of New Jersey. She's also a relationship expert. You have matched together thousands of people?
Over thousands, yes. People who are together, not just married, just people who are living together, people who are together. I just love, and I think that there's a lid for every pot out there.
That is sweet. That's a nice way to put it. And you've put together all of your guidance and all of your wisdom into a book. Tell me about the book.
This is Write Your Own Fairy Tale. I know that people, like when you order a slice of pizza or a pie, it comes to your house in under 30 minutes.
Yep.
Today, I'm urging people to go and write their own fairy tale. Get out of your comfort zone. Pop that bubble. Don't stay home. Online dating is fabulous. I love it. But nothing can determine chemistry like getting out there and writing your own fairy tale, meeting people face to face.
Yep.
So, somebody can write, I love my mother, I'm ambitious, I'm a great person, I want to have
like
kids.
on their profile online,
On their
right?
profile.
Yeah.
And then you meet them in person and they're rude to the waiter or waitress, and that says a lot about somebody.
It's a deal breaker.
So today, everything is so convenient. I'm telling people, anything that's easy also is not worth it.
Yeah.
Anything that's hard is well worth it. Get out there and meet somebody face to face.
I like this on the back in bold. You have to work for it.
Yeah, anything in life that's worth it, without struggle,
Yep.
and there's no growth. So I always say, know your worth. I preach to people, know your worth. Stop putting yourself on the clearance rack. Put yourself behind the glass where they have the fine jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
Why? If you lead with your authentic self and you know your worth, then you're setting the precedent that you won't tolerate anything less than love and respect. And once you have these simple things of leading with your true self and not trying to be anybody else, or not trying to be what your neighbor, your mailman, your next door neighbor wants you to be, and you are truly who you are. For example, if I was to pretend that I was a quiet girl and didn't love the sound of my own voice, it wouldn't work. So after a few dates, somebody would say, wait, she came across as
That's not
quiet.
who she is.
But right. So I say this is who I am.
Yep.
And finally I found a lid to my pot.
Yep.
And it didn't happen.
You live these rules,
Yes,
right? That's why you
My
believe in them,
husband
because
and
they
I
work for you.
Yes, we wrote the book together
Yeah.
because there's no guarantees that a relationship is going to work.
Right.
My first marriage didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
It ended in divorce, but I would do it all over again because I have two of the most fabulous kids in the world, Sophie and Joshua. And when I found the love of my life, my ex-husband was my husband's best man at the wedding.
How many people can say that?
That doesn't happen for everybody. Not everybody's a class act like my ex-husband, but you only have one time to do this dance.
Yeah.
So why not do it right? And if something is not working, my message to all the viewers, everybody out there is life also after divorce. Divorce doesn't mean you failed at anything. Because I would get married all over again to my ex-husband to have those children. So there is life out there after divorce, and especially if you're single. And another thing, being single is not the worst thing in the world.
No, absolutely. It's a great time to discover what's really important to you, right? It's also a great time to discover what you don't like.
Absolutely. I always say being single isn't going to kill you, and being in a relationship isn't going to heal you. If you don't know your worth, and you don't put yourself first, and you don't love yourself first, being in a relationship is really not going to do anything for you.
Right.
So figure yourself out, but move forward.
You are going to bring all this wisdom to two very brave people today.
Bring it on.
We're setting up a live first date, you guys. Come on in. Please meet Gina and Manny.
Nice to meet you. So nice. Hi, guys.
Hi,
Manny.
How are you? Gina.
Nice to
Thank
meet
you so much for being here.
I have to touch everybody.
Yeah,
touch you.
We'll all touch each other.
Good luck.
Here's the deal, you guys. Here's what's going to happen. This is a live tutorial. This is something that does not happen every day. Siggy has graciously agreed to walk Gina and Manny through a first date. The do's, the don'ts, the make sure you do, the please make sure you don'ts. And they have graciously agreed to just let us be along for the ride. So first up, the greeting.
Yes.
Yes.
Tell me about how you approached that. What was comfortable for you?
So, blind date, first off the bat, I would do a handshake.
Okay,
If I met someone on an app and we had been talking maybe for a few days or a little over a week, maybe a hug if I felt comfortable.
Gina, right. Correct.
Agreed.
What about you?
Same way. Like, handshake. I feel like it's odd for like a first date to just come in and hug someone without really knowing.
I'm naturally
Yeah,
a
but there's-
hugger though too.
So am I. I'm a toucher and I'm a hugger and I'm a
Yes.
crier. But I always say, do whatever makes you feel comfortable. At the end of the day, if you have to put your head on the pillow and say, I was true to who I was today, if somebody's turned off because you gave them a hug and you're warm and kind, then that person's not going to be for you anyway.
Exactly.
There's
That's
no
point.
right and wrong. Be you.
Yes.
So far, so good.
So how about this?
Okay.
Before we proceed, do you guys want to tell us a little bit about yourselves? Or tell each other. How's this? If this is
Yeah.
like the first conversation,
After you.
what would you
Okay.
share with each other?
Class.
I am 4 years into living in Manhattan. I've traveled quite a bit, and I co-own a business with my brother.
Nice.
Yep, one of two brothers. And it's in the craft beer world, so I know a lot about beer. And yeah, I am very close to my family. I have family in the city, and I'm very busy with work, so that's why
Good.
dating and this is great.
I'm full-time. Go to school full-time. I bartend full-time. And I have a family member that me and my family are taking care of. Me and my mother are taking care of. We've been raising him since he was 10. So I barely have time to like date. So that's why this is a great experience. I could narrow down who.
Okay.
So this
to
is a
date.
common
This
thing
is a
we
common
hear,
thing.
right?
So right away, you have a heart of gold. You have a heart of gold. You have people, listen, you're close to your brother, you're close to your family. I love what's going on here. Chemistry is a mystery, right? No one can determine who you're going to have chemistry with.
Right.
So all you have to do is put yourself out there. But what I'm sensing is a lot of excuses being made. Everybody has a job and everybody has to work.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, you don't want to be 95 years old with your dentures saying, oh my God, I never gave love a chance. You have to, if you want it bad enough, you're going to make time for it. I'm asking for 2 days a week. 2 days a week to go out and meet somebody like you are today. It could be a cup of coffee, it could be an appetizer, it could be a dinner, or it could be a dessert. I don't care if you're meeting somebody for a brownie. You have to make the time. No excuses. Everybody's busy and everybody has a story. But if it means something to you and you really want to be in a relationship, you got to go for it and make the time for it.
Sounds about right. Yes.
Okay. So here's the other thing I wanted to ask, etiquette-wise these days,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
meeting in person, it can be a little
Yes.
awkward sometimes. What do you suggest? Is there still, is chivalry still a thing?
It's
do people
very-
pull out chairs?
It's
What's-
very, very much a thing.
Okay.
And I believe that if a man is asking a woman out on a date, a man should always pay. That's just my belief. I'm very old school. I would never take out a credit card and I would never pay for a meal because I wouldn't be setting the precedent of, hey, down the road, if you're in a relationship and I'm in a relationship and you lost your job, I'm going to help out and say, honey, don't worry about it. We're in this together. But in the beginning, men are hunters by nature. They love a challenge. If a woman makes it too easy, they lose interest. Trust me, I'm going to be 50 years old. I know what I'm talking about.
What do
okay?
you guys think about
I
that?
love it.
I agree with that.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, now, however, because I love men and I feel for a lot of men today, because a lot of women can be very demanding, I don't care if you're going to Applebee's, the Cheesecake Factory, Chipotle, or Per Se. I don't care where you're going. You ask a woman out, go where you're comfortable budget-wise, but you should always pay the meal. I have clients who come to me and say, Siggy, I felt bad, I took out the credit card. I said, why? Why?
Female clients.
Female
Yeah.
clients, why?
I've
A
been
man
guilty of
wants...
that.
You have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm glad that you...
Yeah, I totally been guilty of that.
Meaning
this is-
someone's asked you out and then you feel like I should pay
Yeah,
for my
I think
part, or
I think it's kind of like just like proving that like I'm self-sufficient and independent, and
I got that.
I don't need you to pay. the
But
other
do
half.
you want to hear what a lot of men clients say to me? I want to feel like I'm the man. And today,
Yes.
women are so powerful that we're no longer in the kitchen and barefoot. We
Yeah.
are out there changing the world. We are out there actually moving and shaking the world. And we're bringing home the bacon. We're frying it up in the pan. We're taking our kids to school. We're
Yeah.
breastfeeding. We're doing everything.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, a man wants to feel like he is the man. Let him lead. A man wants to lead. They feel good about themselves when they're leading. To be in front of a woman who has a full-time job and powerful and doing all that,
Yeah.
let them take the lead and give them the respect.
it's also it's setting aside male and female ideas. Just if someone invites you somewhere,
Correct.
right?
It's etiquette, right.
It's etiquette to
I
say
agree with
I
you.
would like to
Agree.
host you
I
for
agree
this
with you.
brownie
Right.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
whatever it is.
Exactly.
Now, if you are asking somebody on a date, If you say, hey, I'd love to see you, and I know that next Wednesday is your day off, so do you mind if we get together? Then if you're inviting somebody out and you want to treat that person, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm very old school where I believe it takes 6 months to a year to really get to know somebody. People go right away and they're like, oh, I'm in love. And then all of a sudden they get sick and that person is texting them, hope you feel better. I want the man that brings over the matzo ball soup to say, hey, I know you're sick and I'm thinking about you. I don't want to get sick, but I left it outside your door or whatever it is. It takes time to get to know somebody. Let the man lead for the first 3 to 6 months. Afterwards, you see by actions speak louder than words how he treats you. It's okay to say, hey, you know what, I've got this one, or I want to share in this. I'm asking for the beginning to let the man lead, and they're asking for the women to let them lead.
That's the number one thing I think. If you ask my friends, is I say I need someone to take charge because I'm in charge all the time. That I need to allow that to happen.
How old are you?
31.
Okay, so also another good tip for women out there who are in their 30s. When you're in your 20s, it's easier to date other people in your 20s. College, schooling, it's easy. Once you get in your 30s, my rule is always to date 5 to 10 years older. And people are like, oh my God.
5 to 10?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't look at the number. It's not about the number, it's about the maturity level. Usually men who are 35 or in their 30s are looking for women who are a little bit younger. Nothing to do. They want to feel like a man. You want to be with somebody that you could grow from.
Yes.
Women also, like you just said, they want to be with somebody who takes charge. And it's really not fair to put all that pressure on a young man who's in his 30s. Date older.
Okay.
Always date older because you want to feel like, wow, I'm with this person who I'm growing, from. And when I'm with my husband, he teaches me so much, and I always feel like I'm 10 years into it. I learned so much from him, and it's such a turn on. Now, you could have that with somebody your own age. I'm just saying, as a rule of thumb, it's about the maturity level, not the number, not the age number.
Right. I laugh because I tend to date younger in my.
Yes,
everyone
that's
thinks
Do
very-
you?
Yes.
Okay,
What
yeah.
about you? What's your range?
Late 20s.
Late 20s?
Usually, yeah.
How old are you?
I just turned 30.
Okay, so you're doing it right and you're doing it wrong.
Yes.
I'm sorry. It's just
No,
very
I
simple. I just
totally,
want to
yeah.
cut the BS
This
and get
is
right
why
to the
it
point.
works, people. This is why
Sorry.
it works.
I want
doesn't
because,
mess around.
because
No,
my
I
goal
know.
is
Doing something right.
my goal is for this beautiful girl
Yeah.
to actually come and say, hey, everything's going great and I found
Yeah.
love. So when you're dating younger, you're basically taking on a child.
Yeah.
And as you get older, no, I'm just saying, you want maturity, you want somebody who's a mover and shaker, and it's
Yeah.
not fair to somebody in their 20s
Yeah.
who is just starting out.
Right.
Remember, I'm not judging
Yeah.
age. It's the maturity level.
It's the life experience as
the
well.
20-year-old
right?
doesn't
You could have a
have-
really mature
Right.
29-year-old.
You can.
Or you could have a 29-year-old
You
who's
can.
barely lived a
That's,
life.
no, that's a very
Right?
good point.
Right?
And I'm going to go back because everything that I say, because I go through it in my own life. My husband is only 4 years older than me. He's not 10. But because he lost his father to Lou Gehrig's, his mother to cancer, he has suffered a lot of things in his life, which he's a very mature person. So to me, being with him is perfect because he's mature. It's about the maturity level, like you just pointed out. Thank you for saying that. It's about that.
Borrowing your words. I'm stealing
no,
from the
I'm just-
expert here. Okay, so we're sitting here sipping our coffee and watching you. But let's get some drinks or whatever the first step would be in the orders here. So if we're in a
The first
restaurant,
step, yeah.
we of course would have a waiter come over. Everybody meet Ira.
Hi, how you doing? I'm Ira.
Hi.
Have some menus?
Thank you.
No problem, I'll get you some more. Would you like something to
Are
drink
we
to start?
sharing these?
No, so you guys are on the date. We're not.
alright.
Pretend like we're not here.
Yes.
So easy. It's just so easy.
So
Water
natural.
to start?
Yes,
Yeah, water
still
next
water.
time, please.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's freeze right there. They went right to water. Is that the
Perfect.
right? That's a good first step.
Yes. Now, you guys were on a lunch date, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you be ordering, are you going to order alcohol?
I would definitely order alcohol.
Okay.
I would probably order alcohol.
Beautiful.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Right.
Or
Why not?
and
And
a
it's great.
coffee
You've
too,
already talked
probably.
about you have a shared interest too, right? You're in craft beer and you're a
Bartender.
bartender. It's natural, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We
And that's
both
okay
drink a
with
lot.
you.
Absolutely. I think having a glass of wine, having a drink, 2 cocktails is a limit. You don't want to leave the date bubble slurring
Yeah.
your words. You know, at the end of the date, whether you have chemistry or not, the goal is at the end of the date, it was nice meeting you. If you're brazen enough to say, I don't think that the chemistry is there, or maybe when he calls, listen, I really enjoyed you. You're a great guy, Manny. The chemistry wasn't there. You act like a lady. You never know. Manny could have an uncle, a next door neighbor, a friend at work that could say, hey, you're a class act too, Gina. I know the chemistry wasn't there for us, but hey, my friend, would you mind if I handed out my number to you? My friend, my boss. It's all about building your network of people.
Oh, that's a really good point. It's not just about making a good impression on the
Yes.
date. It's
Yes.
about the whole network you're now opening
You
up
have to look at it as I have my friends and I have my work friends, and now I'm gonna have my private, building up my social network of people who are, this is my love life right here. And this is just as important as my work life and my personal life.
See, but this is so important because we work so hard on professional networks,
Yes.
right? And like
Yes.
mentorships and people you look to for advice. You're saying you have to do that with your love life.
That's the key. So every person is a person of value. Nobody should be judged. If you don't like, if you were with Manny and Manny all of a sudden was whatever it was, he was not your cup of tea. You never know who Manny knows.
Right.
So unless he was rude to Ron, is your name Ron?
Iron.
Iron, another great name.
Great name.
We were just talking about great names. IRON?
Yeah.
I love it. So if Manny was rude to Iron, you would say,
I
not
would
for
be-
me.
yeah, I
Not
would
for
not.
me. So I don't care about his friends because show me who your friends are, I'll show you who you are.
Right.
Goodbye. But everything's going great. You never know who he knows. So always leave that open and use it at the back as building your social network in your love life.
Got it.
All right, so now you've got, you're taking a look at the menus,
Yes,
right? You've got your waters.
waters.
Let's say that we've got some drink orders coming up next. Why don't you go ahead
Yeah,
and
what
order
would you like to
those?
I would have, could I please have a glass of rosé still, please?
Absolutely.
I would do a tequila on the rocks. White tequila on the rocks.
Any preference on tequila?
What do you have?
Don Julio, Patron, Casamigos.
Casamigos.
You got it. How do you want it on the rocks?
Yeah, on the rocks. Thank you.
Beautiful. So far,
Yeah?
so good. I don't see
Okay.
anything wrong.
Okay, so what's next? Small talk while we look over the menus? How does this go?
Yeah, I
Yeah?
would, knowing that you're a bartender, I would immediately probably start asking about your background in the bar industry,
Yeah.
specialty cocktails, like what kind of bar you work in.
Oh, well,
Because that's my
yeah.
background is the restaurant industry.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you completely understand.
Mm-hmm.
I would go straight for family questions. Like,
Beautiful.
family's very important to me. So, like, you mentioned that you work with your brother.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that would be, like, right where I'd go first.
Okay.
Perfect. Perfect. The rule of thumb, no sex. You don't talk about sex, politics, or religion on
No.
first dates. Nothing. There is no talk about Donald Trump, the Clintons, the Obama administration. Politics, because you want to make it light. What do you do for a living? What do you like to do when you're not working?
Right.
Where have you traveled to? Have you been to any interesting places? You want to keep it light. There's a song that used to be on, it's the things that make you go, That's a song. All you're looking for is...
Did not think you were going to make a CNC Music Factory reference, and I love that about you.
You can tell how old I am. But it's just things that, wow, this person is really interesting. You're looking to connect or see if the chemistry is there and keep it light. You don't want to get heated, and
Right.
you don't want to talk about those three topics.
But what if like politics or religion are really important to
Current
you?
in the, or
Yeah, but
very current in the news.
you know what?
Yeah.
Chemistry
You
and
don't
love,
wanna
chemistry
go
and
there.
love come before politics, sex, and religion. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Love comes before anything.
Okay.
When you love somebody, you will listen to their views and you will respect. Everybody has a right to their opinion, and no one has a right to judge anybody. But on the first date, you just want to see if you want to make it to the second date.
Right.
His
right,
political
right.
views
True.
are not really that important because if there's no, who cares?
Right.
So just keep
Yeah.
it light and fresh. People are like, no, I have to find out
Yeah.
if he wants to have 3 kids, and I want to name those
Oh,
kids
boy.
Bob, Janet, and Harry. And if he doesn't like those 3 names, take
You
the
like
L.
those 3 names?
They
No?
are not my
Ah,
cup of tea.
it's never gonna work.
Right.
But it's
So-
a good point. You're not looking for deal breakers,
No,
right?
no.
It's just a casual get to know
And
each
some
other.
girls fish for those though.
Yes.
Like I know, like one of my friends
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, and that's why your friend is still single because it's putting a lot of pressure. Like I'm not, no, but I'm just saying, you're putting, no, but it puts,
I understand. No, I understand.
It puts a lot of pressure when you start out to work, and let's say you're starting out at the in the mailroom. Do you expect to be the CEO of the company?
Of course not.
You have to take every day. Every day offers different challenges, and things move and shake all over the place.
Yeah.
You don't go out and scare somebody. Whoa, he wants to live in Connecticut and have 3 kids. Whoa, relax. Let's just see if there's chemistry. When I first met Michael, he said, listen, I just went through a horrific divorce, and I am not looking to ever get married again. And I said, really? Neither am I. 3 years later, he was on his knee asking me to marry him every day, and we're married. People change because love does the most wonderful things to people.
Yeah.
But you have to start out slow.
So let's say you're ordering food next, right? Is it ever okay for the man to order for the woman? Is
Not
that
okay.
too
That would
old
weird
school?
me out.
That
No,
would weird you
yeah.
out? You would
Totally
never do
weird me
that?
out.
Because
Not
he
on
doesn't
the
really
first
know
date. I
her.
don't even
Yeah.
know if, like, how about if she's allergic to something I ordered?
Like I don't eat red meat or pork, so that's a little.
You ready
No.
to order?
No.
Know what you like?
Actually I don't. I haven't really.
Same.
Yeah,
I've
we
not
need-
even looked.
A few
Yeah.
minutes.
Well,
Yeah,
what's-
I mean, if anything, I would get an appetizer. Like, I wouldn't.
The dumplings are
Like-
good, the spring rolls
To like
are good.
split something.
Yeah,
That would
I-
be nice. I think.
Perfect.
Is that a good idea?
Split something.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we just need enough.
All right, I'll give you a minute, no problem.
Perfect.
That would be on you. I'm sure I'm okay with like 90% of that.
So
Yeah.
that's good. You like seafood. I love fish and seafood.
Yeah, same.
He's deferring to her.
So-
this is good,
I would,
right?
what I like, I personally would like do like maybe the dumplings or the spring rolls. If you're into that,
Let's do it. Dumplings sound good.
awesome. Can do both. I wouldn't care.
We can do both. What about the beet salad? Do you like beets? Some people don't.
I don't mind beets. I thought I hated them, and I recently found out that
Do
I
you
don't.
like goat
so-
cheese?
Yeah. I
Okay,
definitely love
then we
goat
can
cheese,
do the
yeah.
beet salad too.
I could do that. Yeah.
So the other thing is, in this conversation, which is about something really simple, what to order, you're kind of learning things about each other as you go.
Absolutely.
Right?
And what you're picking on, and everybody should be picking up on this, is that he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Thank you. I just can
Very
someone cut that and
considerate.
just
He's a great guy. And
Say
you know
that
what? And
everywhere.
one day when you find, if it's not Gina, but one day when you find the love of your life, you are going to be a wonderful provider. You really
You can
have.
tell that already.
I'm a
Thank
witch.
you. I
So I'm a
appreciate
good
that.
witch, but it's like he's intuitive. He's not being aggressive. He's not saying no. I only want this and that. I wouldn't mind if you ordered that.
Yep.
Even if he didn't like beets, he would have said to her, "I'm not a fan of beets, but I'd like for you to order the beet salad if that makes you happy." He is really a good dater.
If the beets make you happy,
That was
go with the
yeah.
beets. Let's get
It
our
was a good-
orders
it was a good
in.
interaction.
Right, do you agree with
I
me, Gina?
agree.
Iron is back.
Back.
Oh yeah. So we'd love to do like the beets and the dumplings, but
Beets and the dumplings?
yeah.
All right,
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
No
Appreciate it.
problem.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
I've
You're
been
welcome.
on an aggressive date, like with
Have
an
you?
aggressive guy. Yeah, it was a little strange.
But
And
that you know right away then, right?
Yeah,
And if he was aggressive, I would have said it right away.
yeah,
But he's a good dater.
yeah. Very calm.
Is it good to be a good dater?
Absolutely.
Is
Is it good? Wait, let me ask you something.
Maybe I've done
Let
that
me
too
ask you
much.
something.
Yeah.
No? Is it good to be a good person?
Oh yes. Of
Okay?
course.
Is it important to be heart and soul and honest? Then you don't ever let anybody break you. Because if you think that nice guys finish last, they don't. They finish first. They finish first because
That's what I wanna
you're
hear.
gonna find a woman who says, "Wow, I'm sick and tired of being lied to. I'm sick and tired. He says he's gonna call and he doesn't." And you know what? What happened to me is when Michael said he was gonna call, he called, and when Michael said he was gonna show up, he showed up. And I opened up my eyes because I'm a smart girl and said, "This is the type of man that I want to spend the rest of my life with." So all you need is that one woman to recognize the good qualities in you, and that's it. And you keep going until you find it.
Gotta find her. Gotta find her.
Well said.
Yes.
Okay, so you're waiting for the food now. You're going to be
Yeah.
chatting. What is safe topics to talk about? Where do they go from here?
Jobs. What do you do for a living?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably where I would definitely go dive into. So,
Yeah.
what kind of bar do you work at?
I work at a sports bar on the Upper
Ah.
West Side.
Okay.
I truly enjoy it. I go to school for dietetics, and that's pretty much all I do back and forth. It's like school and work, which is pretty.
Are you active? Do you work out?
Yeah, I do work out every once in a while, like 3 to 4 days a week.
Nice.
Usually, like before work, I have a late job, so I have time to like run errands, like work out.
Very nice.
Same for you. Are you into fitness at all?
I am. My brother has a rock climbing gym, so I've recently, in the past 5 months, started rock climbing, which kind of is my new obsession, and it's a lot of fun. And
It's so good.
Yeah, it's
too.
not the
it's like
top
a full
rope.
body workout.
yeah, it's not the top rope one because I'm a little terrified of heights, but it's like a 15-foot wall.
Wait,
and
what's a top rope? Like,
it's when you're harnessed in and you have someone belaying you, but I just can't go up that high. So I prefer just the you don't have any harnesses, and it's like 15 to 16 feet high, and you just climb up the wall basically.
Okay, let's stop you guys right here. How are they doing so far?
I think it's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's
Seal
light.
of approval
No,
from
but do
Siggy.
you see that it's light? They're talking about things that are light. You're getting to know. She's extremely competitive. She's a very smart woman. very smart. She likes to be challenged. She's not going to be happy with somebody who just wants to lay around. She's not. She is, and that's why I say this match would never work. It would never work. You're too young for her.
Too young.
And she needs somebody who's older for her. But I love the way that this is going. But when people talk about themselves and what they do for a living and what they do when they're not, you see, I'm not talking about politics, sex, religion.
Right.
You find out a lot about themselves. You find out a lot. She is a go-getter, and she is going only one way. She's going all the way to the top. She will work her butt off until she gets to where she needs to get. And that's, I love that because I'm like that.
Yeah, that's
No, she said-
no.
I just
It's
wait-
like you don't even know me, but you know me.
Yeah, but that's why dating older, somebody who's more
Yeah.
mature, who's a little bit more, you need somebody who's aggressive in that sense. But everything you guys are doing, you're getting a perfect score so far.
So how about this? While we wait for the
Yes.
food, can you share some common dating faux pas, like being on your cell phone or
so, yeah.
not
Unless-
asking enough questions? What
Okay.
should people not do?
What I get the most disgusted with is ordering the most expensive thing on the menu. You never do that on a date.
Would you ever do that?
No.
Would you ever do that?
I
How would you
think-
feel if the woman did that?
I wouldn't really care, to be honest.
Okay.
I wouldn't. Well, I would try not to pay attention to something like that. I don't.
Yeah.
Is that
For
a
me-
big deal? Is that something?
To me,
that-
yes, because you're a sweetheart.
I know, that's
But to me, I always tell people when they're going on the first date, be respectful of who you're out to dinner with. And that doesn't mean to order just a piece of lettuce. I'm just saying, don't go for the lobster tails unless you really want. I'm just saying, be respect. It's the first date. You're trying to get to know somebody. You don't want to, order the most expensive thing on the menu. Unless you have children and they're sick and you have somebody home, so you shouldn't be all the time, oh, I gotta check my messages. You should give that person your full attention. It's called being respectful.
Right.
I don't like people who are rude. I like people who actually think about the other person. And it's very easy to put yourself first, because that's what I preach. Love yourself first. But when you are in the presence of somebody else, show some respect and show some class. So I can't stand people who are on their phones.
So I was going to say, so most people will show up to dinner or drinks or whatever, and the phone goes right next
Yeah,
to.
I don't do that.
It's like, no.
I show up to dinner and I say, hi, nice to meet you. I just want you to know, I don't want to be rude, because honesty is the best policy. I have my children, my Sophie's not feeling well, so I'm going to keep my phone on the table, but I'm only going to pick it up if my babysitter calls.
Okay.
That way you're saying to the person, I respect that you got dressed and came
And
out
the
to meet
time,
me,
yeah,
and the
you're
time.
It's like a time, respect
That's
of
it.
time. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
And as long as you're up front and you say this, people just appreciate somebody else's honesty. And what is somebody really looking for? Somebody's looking for a good person with a heart and a soul,
Yeah.
who's not going to dump them and leave them, and
Right.
who's going to be honest with them and saying, listen, I'm not really feeling you, but at least you're walking away and you were honest with that person. I just don't like when people mislead people or disrespect people.
Which happens often.
What about checklists? Like, do you guys go into a date thinking, oh, I only want to be with someone who's, got this, in this age range, lives around here, does this?
Yes and no. I mean, very minor thing. I mean, as far as like checklists, it would definitely be minor things. Like someone who's established or like has their life together. But not really. I feel like one of the like corners I've turned is just kind of go in with an open mind and not have that checklist. Yeah, because I think some people get caught up in that, and they're just like, oh well, they have to have this, this, and this, and I think that works against you in the long run. So
What do you think about that?
I
Siggy?
tell people to get rid of their list.
Right.
In 25 years of doing what I'm doing, I've never had anybody come to me with a different list. Everybody wants to meet a tall, dark, handsome person. He should love his mother. He should love his father. He should want kids. He should want to rock climb and ski and have lots of children. No one's ever come to me and said, Siggy, please, I want to meet a fat slob who sits on a couch with a bag of chip who has no ambition in life.
Right.
But let me just tell you something. Throw out that list. It's about chemistry. When I was going through my divorce and following the rules of this book and putting myself out there, I did not have on my list, I want to meet somebody who doesn't have hair on top of his head that sells Jeep Cherokees for a living. Watch this.
Right.
My husband has no hair on top of his head. He is the most beautiful human being. I am so turned on by his presence, his demeanor. I can't even talk about him without smiling. I'm sorry, Anna, but I'm just saying.
Literally tearing up. By the
I'm
way.
just
He's
saying,
talking about him.
everything about him makes my heart sing. the chemistry is there. Get rid of your list and get out there, because you don't know who. It's going to be somebody's smile. It's going to be the way they talk. It's going to be the way you don't know who you're going to connect with or have chemistry with. So get rid of your list. Her list was not structured. It was good. She wants to meet somebody who's ambitious, who has a job. That's fine. But some people come, I only want to meet somebody who's 6 feet tall. He should only have a full head of hair. That is like ridiculous. Put it away.
That worked to my benefit. I was okay with all those
Okay, good.
checks.
You've never had a checklist?
No, not really.
No?
I kind of jump around from personalities.
Yeah.
When I date girls, like I've had girls that were very aggressive, girls that were very calm and laid back. So I always try to have like an open mind towards things like that, for the most part.
That's what you should do, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, what's next? Do you guys have questions for Siggy about what comes next?
Let me think.
So now is the part of the date where you're waiting for the food, you're hanging around and you're talking, right?
Yeah. How do you? I don't know.
I mean, I would try like to find like common interests. So I'd bring up like
100%.
music or movies or something
Beautiful.
of that nature.
Agreed.
You-
Agreed.
you
See,
got-
kind of get a gauge too for their sense of humor. Sometimes I have a crass
Yes.
sense of humor.
Yeah.
So if they can hang on that level.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, this is an important part
Yeah.
because you are, when you're meeting someone, you want to be yourself, but
Absolutely.
you are making a first impression too.
Yes,
So,
very good point.
So how do you walk that line?
Well, it's just like going for a job,
Yeah.
right? We all want to hang out with our hair on top of our head, with our Ugg slippers on, right? Wouldn't everybody like to go to work that way?
Accurate.
But when you go to work and you go on a job interview, you have to put your best foot forward, the best you possible. So you can't just let everything out of the suitcase.
Right.
You only let out certain things out of the suitcase. You don't want to come across and just all of a sudden, here are my jokes. Do you get? It's basically I am feeling you out and you're feeling me out. That's all
But
it
how do
is.
you do that and stay relaxed? Because it seems like to me, if you're constantly
Right.
working, is that where the rosé and the tequila come in?
Yes.
Got it.
I have a
Exactly.
client
Got
that
it.
they get so nervous. Like they talk too much on a date,
Aw.
and they get so nervous. It's really important on a date to ask questions. So I tell her to drink a glass of wine before she goes on a date.
That's
And
your
then
advice?
There you go. There you go.
to calm her down. But on a date, put it on the other person when you're nervous. So what do you do for a living? Have you traveled anywhere? Even though you're nervous, because a lot of people who are nervous tend to talk about, and then the person comes home and says, Siggy, I just had the worst date with this girl. All she did was talk about herself. But the girl's really not a bad girl. She was just so nervous. So, but you guys are getting A's. I don't know.
You guys are nailing it.
I mean, I've been on a few dates, but I'm learning a lot too, and it's just, yeah,
I bet you if you changed your profile, your dating profile,
yeah.
and you changed the age,
Yes.
you would be
I
very
mean, the age
successful.
that you're open to, not your
Yes.
age.
My
No, no, no.
sister,
Right.
my sister-in-law, actually a few weeks ago goes, Gina, date up. She goes, put that thing
I love
higher.
your sister-in-law. Yes.
And I was like, and I have this weird, I don't know, it kind of makes me nervous to
No.
date older.
You know what? Why don't you try
I
it?
don't know. I don't know.
Why
What's
don't you
your
try it?
like? What's your
I should try it. I need to try
on
it.
the apps? What's the age
36
range?
is the highest I have it set at.
Yeah,
And what's the
that's not-
lowest?
No,
She should go higher.
You're 30?
1.
Oh my God, you should be between 35 and 40.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And let me just tell you something. I have to tell you something. Women also tend to lie about their age. That is a big no. Somebody's going to find your driver's license
On
one
their
day.
dating profile?
But let me tell you something. It's 2017. Today, 50 is the new 20.
Yeah,
That's how I feel.
absolutely.
I am 4 months. June 1st is my birthday. I'm going to be 50 years old. I've never looked so good or felt so good. You have to.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Yes. I
I'm
love
just
it.
saying,
I'm
women-
embracing that. 50's the new
Women
20.
should own their age
Yep.
and go out there. And today, people are like, no, I don't want to date somebody older because you're thinking somebody's going to come in with a cane and their skin's going to be falling off their face. No, no.
Right.
Give them a chance. You're not going to lose, no, you're going to walk out with your fingers and toes. You've got nothing to lose and everything in the world to gain.
Okay.
Just by bringing your whole true
That's it.
self.
Yeah.
So the food has arrived.
Yeah.
You
Food's
guys can
arrived.
dig in. I want to ask you something about this. We've been talking about apps
Yes.
and
Yes.
dating
Oh,
profiles
yes.
and stuff. How engaged do you think people should be
Good
on?
question.
Because you're talking about the
Yes.
importance of meeting face to
Great
face. But
question.
how do you manage
Yes.
that? The virtual world versus the real world.
So the online,
Yeah, please. Sorry. Pretend like I'm not here again. Totally natural, Manny. Go for
Stage
it.
4.
So the online world is a fascinating world and an amazing world. Online dating is fascinating because it's a tool that you need to use,
Right.
like we discussed, to build up your social network, your love life. So somebody reaches out to you, they're interested in your profile, they say, hey, oh, you sound great, Amna, you look great, you're everything. What do you do? Whatever it is, you
Yeah.
have banter. It goes back and forth.
Online, you mean like texting
Online
each other,
banter
messaging? Yeah.
should never last more than a couple of weeks.
Okay. Why?
Because people use it as a security blanket, and people are like, oh, I met this guy online, and I've been going back and forth with him for 6 months. 6 months.
I try
Have
a
you done
week.
that?
No, I'm like, we need to see each other after a week. After
Perfect.
Yeah, because then it just, yeah, you said it's like the security blanket.
First of all, you
Yeah.
don't even know if they really exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number
Oh,
one.
yes.
Secondly, you know how many people put up pictures of them when they were 18 and they really
Yeah.
don't look like that?
Right.
So right away you want to say, hey, I connect with you. This is great. We're having, the conversation flows. Every day I'm getting messages from you. It excites me, gives me something to look forward to. Do you mind if we meet after work for a drink?
Right.
Yeah.
45 minutes is all you need. That's it.
Just
You
as
meet-
a first step, a baby step.
That's it. Then to say, wow, this person really is what they say they are. Then you continue. You could continue, say, oh, we can, let's make a dinner date, or you take it from there. So many people are using their laptops
Yeah.
to hide behind. Why? Because the number one problem with people in their love life is people fear rejection.
Yes.
And I want you to know, a man's rejection is God's protection. A woman's rejection is God's protection. You are going to
Embroider
find
that on a
out.
pillow.
If
Okay.
somebody's rejecting you, you're going to find out later that they really didn't want to have kids. They really weren't about you. They really were, maybe they like the opposite sex. It doesn't matter. Your job is to take rejection, learn from it, get up, and move forward. It is God trying to save you from an unhappy situation. So because people fear rejection, they think staying underneath their covers with their laptops and staying online for 6 months to a year, no one can really hurt them. So, but if you're not putting yourself out there, you're really not taking any risks.
That's not dating,
Right.
right?
So think about all the people that you admire in your lifetime. You think Oprah would be Oprah without taking a risk?
Right.
You think Michael Jordan would be Michael Jordan without taking a risk?
You think Siggy would be Siggy,
Siggy, no.
without taking a
I
risk?
ended up on Housewives of New Jersey.
Hello.
But I'm just saying, so many people don't understand, like even somebody like Steven Spielberg, he applied to the University of Southern California 3 times and he was rejected.
Oh, I didn't know.
So if he stayed home, do you understand that the world would have been missing out on his genius, his mind? Steve Jobs, could you imagine? I
Yeah.
mean, he was fired. So right now, look at this. We wouldn't have this technology.
I love that all
So-
this relates back to love
No,
somehow.
rejection, yes, because it's people who actually look at rejection
Yep.
and say, bring it on, and move forward are the people who actually succeed. And my point is to have everybody succeed in their love lives.
You're looking for success.
That's a great
Yes.
That's what you're going for. So you're eating. Let's
Yes.
say, let's fast forward a little bit here. Let's say we go through the meal. Here's the big awkward moment.
Yeah.
Asking for the check. How does this go? What's the best way for this to go, Siggy?
She's not to say anything.
Oh.
It could be a way. I don't care if you sit there for 8 hours. You are not saying anything. He asked you out on a date, and I want to make women know your worth. Know your worth. Know your worth. Your mom and dad would tell you the same thing I'm telling you, and if they don't, I'm sorry. If somebody invites you on a date, you are not going to be you are not putting yourself on the clearance rack. Unless you asked them out on the date, the rules change. You are going to sit there, and you're not going to do anything until Manny asks for the check. And when the check comes, you are not going to say anything. You're going to pretend that the check is not there until Manny puts the cash
don't even
or the credit card.
offer.
You
You
do
don't even
not
offer.
No.
Do you appreciate it when a girl offers?
It gets awkward sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like if you meet, like usually my move is that like I just like pull out my debit card out of my pocket and
Yeah.
I just give it to the waiter
Yes.
and I'm like,
That's
"Can you
a
just close
great
this out?"
move.
Just because it avoids that whole moment where
Yeah.
like
It's
the
sitting on
check's
the table.
there and like
What a
you're
heart.
reaching for it and the girls like pretend, you know, it's like
If
that
there are
doesn't
any
mean
girls out there, Manny, these are
Oh.
aces, okay? I love.
I mean,
Okay.
outside of the drinking.
What about if the guy asks, do you want to split it?
Say no. I appreciate you asking me, but I don't. You're holding your ground.
Nice.
Listen, if somebody came to you and said to
They
you,
asked
say
you
no.
if somebody
no.
came
Yeah.
to you, let me ask you something, Gina.
Yeah.
If somebody came to you and said, hey, I want to open up a bar down the street, would you leave your brother and open up and partner up with me?
No.
Why? Why is it so easy for you to say no?
Because because it's like, you're my family, and I would never.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is you.
Yeah.
You're set. You know your worth. You didn't ask for this date. He asked you out on a date. If he says to you, "Would you like to split it?" I appreciate you asking, but no, I don't want to split it.
Good to know.
That's it.
Interesting.
What's he gonna do? You're gonna
Yeah,
walk
nothing
away.
can be done.
He
Let
might
me
feel
just-
a little embarrassed, and then he'll.
Let me tell you
definitely-
something. He will be thinking about you for the next 30 days.
Oh,
A
okay.
woman, to get into a man's mind, you have to be a woman. And let me just tell you what Manny just said. Men out there are begging for men to be allowed to be men. They're begging for it. Let them do it. A man doesn't want to be. There's different roles for men and women. And today it's very intimidating. The number one problem is men are very intimidated by women because we are such powerful creatures. We run the world.
Not gonna argue.
I'm sorry,
Not
we
gonna
run the
argue.
world.
I feel outnumbered.
So a man says, okay,
Yeah, you have to agree with us.
Right.
It's 3-1 right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Let's fast forward even more. We're not going to make you guys go through this because you have very graciously sat through a very awkward situation with us just leering over your
What,
great
awkward?
conversation.
No, it's
But the goodbyes, when it's time to say
Yes.
goodbye,
It's always.
that's even more
so
awkward than the
tough.
hello sometimes.
I think a hug is always nice.
Yeah.
You
I
guys good
love
with that?
hugs.
Yeah.
If you're not a hugger, don't be a hugger. But I think you should be true to who you are. If you're a handshaker, be a handshaker so you know that you're a little bit colder than a hugger. For me, somebody treats me to dinner or an appetizer, they pay for the bill. There's no awkward moments. It was a pleasure meeting you. Mwah, mwah. We'll keep in touch, and I hope to see you again. To me, I'm a chicken. I don't like confrontation. So even if there's no chemistry, and if somebody said, "Can I reach out to you?" I wouldn't do it in somebody's face. I'm owning it. I'm owning
Okay.
it. I'm
Yeah.
a chicken. I'm a chicken.
You
I
would
don't-
still say, yeah,
I
let's
would
stay
say-
in touch, or
I would say, call me or reach out to me. And if they text me and say, "Listen, I really thought about it. I really, really like you, but I don't think the chemistry was there because I'm a chicken." But because I want to leave that person at least enjoying the moment of
Okay.
Being in your
Yeah.
presence.
yeah.
being in the presence and paying for a date and
Right.
just being a kind person. That's basically what it comes down to. But the way you deal with it is the way you want to deal with it. But I love hugs.
I'm a hugger. Yeah.
You guys
I'm
good
a
with
hugger.
hugs?
At the end
Good
of the
with
date,
that.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
At that
Yeah.
point, you've already like
Yeah,
established
it's
a bit
nice,
of a
'cause it's
connection.
not like-
Kiss, no. I mean, unless there's like some insane connection.
Chemistry, right.
Yeah,
Right.
but definitely hug.
But I think a kiss on a cheek,
Yeah.
you do the European way, you do it the American way, you do it any way you want. I don't really care. But you walk away like a lady, you walk away like a gentleman.
A successful first date.
Absolutely.
How'd they do?
I think that they both 100.
Oh, good.
Great job.
If we could just get that in writing from you. Just
You
again,
have
show
it.
everyone.
You have it in writing for me.
How do you guys feel about how it went? Was this helpful? Do you feel like you learned something new?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Extremely easygoing. I think we would have found like a lot of common topics to discuss: family, work, interests, things like that.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it definitely would have gone well.
Manny?
Yeah,
Yeah?
it's really easy to talk to her.
And they if in the real world, like I would say that they would be friends forever. Like this is a good friendship.
I know.
to
I
have.
was
Which
like,
is
I
the
could
other
totally
point.
Watch.
see us being friends.
Yeah, even if it doesn't work romantically, you've
Right.
met
That's
someone
okay.
good, you've expanded your network to get
Yeah.
back to your points,
said,
right?
expand
Now,
the
She's
network.
already said
think about his
you
job.
are out of his range. So Siggy has already said this isn't going to work.
Yes.
Sorry.
I need to date.
She's
She's already put the kibosh on this.
kibosh on it. Yeah,
No.
for sure.
But
Sure.
think about what he does for a living. Think about it.
Yeah.
You guys left this date on such a good. You feel good about it, right?
Yeah.
He's a bartender. Do you know how many people he meets every night?
Yeah.
You leave a good impression on him, and Manny's bartending, and he might meet somebody, and you might call him and say, "Hey, Manny, I'm in the area. You want to have lunch?" Or maybe your place of business should be carrying the beers. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever it is that you guys have a connect on.
Yeah.
And you walk in and say, "Hey, Gina, you know what? I thought about this. I want you to meet Gary, or I want you to meet whatever it is." It's a snowball effect. Just trust me.
Trust her.
I
Trust her.
Totally trust
And in case
you.
you missed any of those wisdom, those pearls of wisdom, it's all in the book, you guys. Write your own fairy tale. Siggy Flicker. You guys, you are incredibly
Thank you.
brave.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much,
Thank
Manny
you.
and Gina, for
Appreciate it.
being here.
Thank you.
Siggy Flicker.
Thank
This
you.
is why it
Thank you.
works. This is why it works.
Yes.
To all of you out there, thanks for joining us. We hope you found this helpful in some way. Go out and find love, you guys. 2017. Thanks for
Yes.
joining us. We'll see y'all next time.